Alright guys, today I'm going to show you one of my favorite recipes using some of the venison that we harvested. It's a super easy recipe for stuffed shells with spinach ricotta cheese and your Italian sausage made with your venison. It's one of the family favorites, and it's delicious. It comes out dynamite, it's quick and easy, and I'm actually going to make enough that I can freeze some so I can take it to deer camp. Nothing like a cold day in a tree, going back to the camp and eating some of these stuffed shells. So let me show you how we prepare that. There's only a few ingredients that we're going to use today. That would be jumbo shells. That's about 2 pounds of ricotta cheese. You need some good olive oil, a pack of spinach, some tomato paste, fresh garlic, around 2 pounds of shredded mozzarella cheese, and then of course your deer sausage. And this is some of the Italian sausage that I made. This is the hot Italian sausage that I made, and it's 2/3 venison and 1/3 pork with some seasonings already in it. So let's get it rolling. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got our spinach lightly cooked down in some olive oil. You want to get it nice and soft so it can work into the with the cheese. I've got the meat cooked down, ready to go, all broke up. All right. Then you want to get your garlic chopped up, and you want to fry your garlic in some olive oil. Okay, this is to make the sauce. All right. You go ahead and get that frying. You don't want to burn the garlic. You want to make sure that it stays just to that golden brown that it is. Then next you want to add a can of the tomato paste. You want to put the tomato paste, drop it right in there. And then for each can that you add, you want to add 3 cups of water. Okay? Get that in. We're going to cook this sauce down. Get my water here. This is a nice simple sauce. Unbelievable. You got to try this. It's you can use a can if you want to, but I prefer to make my own. The garlic and the olive oil, and then this good tomato paste works out great. So you go ahead and get that in, and let that break down and congeal. You want to cook this sauce. You'll see it'll start thickening up. Keep your fire on it. And while we do that, we're going to go ahead and drop the shells into the water. You've got a pot of water boiling. Salt. You want it really salty, kind of like a salty like in the ocean. Really, the saltier the better. You want to drop these shells in here. Try not to make too much of a mess. Now these shells, you want to cook them. You don't want them to be too soft. Okay, you just want to get a nice little cook on them, enough till they start loosening up, so that we can start stuffing them. Drop these in here. You know what? I think I might just use the 2. That looks like a good bit, and that'll probably be enough to make what I'm going after. One more thing I want to tell you with the sauce. After you get this cooked down, you want to taste that sauce, and if you need more garlic salt, or you want to add some oregano to it, or some basil, go ahead. What I like to use, I got some basil from the garden this year, and I made my own pesto. You take pesto, pine nuts, lemon juice, some garlic, and put it in the blender, grind it up. I put it in an ice cube tray. So with the olive oil, and you grind it up and pour it into a ice cube tray, and then freeze it. Once it gets frozen, you can take it out, and then you got pesto to go for any dish. You can also do that with your chicken stock. You can do it with beef stock. You can do it with fish stock. And it's a real cool idea to freeze that, because a lot of times when you're steaming vegetables or doing a quick sauce, whatever it is, you want to add that flavor, and this is like super flavorful. It's like I said, it's fresh basil from my garden. So let me get this stuff cooked down, and we'll show you. We'll start stuffing some shells. Okay, so you can see the sauce thickened up real nice. I had to add some salt and pepper and some oregano to it, and then you know, just let it cook down, and you can see the consistency. This is just a quick, easy sauce. Now you want to take a baking tray or a pan. This glass pan is what I like to use. The trick with any Italian food that you're going to cook in the oven is you want to have you want to line the bottom of the tray with sauce. That way your pasta doesn't stick to it. Okay, so we get that done. I'm going to start stuffing the shells. So as you can see, in this mixing bowl, I've got around 2.5 pounds of the ricotta cheese. I want to add a little bit of sauce to this, and that's to help congeal all the other flavors to it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get that done. I'm going to go ahead and add the spinach. And then we're going to put some of the Italian sausage, excuse me, the Italian venison sausage. Leave some of the juice in there. Just drop a bunch of this meat in there. I made more than what I probably need for this dish, but it's fine. And we'll just go ahead and start mixing some of this up and seeing how it looks and start stuffing the shells. You want to go ahead and incorporate all these flavors together. And the idea is to get a good mix so that every bite has a little spinach, a little sausage, and obviously the cheese. I got my shells cooked and rinsed off. You want to rinse the starch off them, dump the water out, rinse the starch off in cold water to stop the cooking process of them. And you can see you like to have them, leave them al dente, which means a little bit soft. You don't want them where they're falling apart, but you want them to where they're able to hold on to the sauce. So let's start stuffing them. Guys, so after I got all these shells stuffed, I want to put some cheese on it, okay? I got some Pecorino Romano and some mozzarella cheese that I grated up here. You can just use mozzarella if you want. And as you see, I came up with 3 different trays. Like I said, one's for the family, one's for deer camp, and I'll tell you what, I think I might even give one to the landowner, because you know what, I really appreciate the guy letting me hunt there, and Valentine's Day is coming, so what other way to say I love you than a nice tray of venison shells with stuffed cheese and spinach. So anyways, go ahead and put the cheese all over, literally all over the top of the shells once it's done. And you know, a lot of people when they're cooking lasagna or shells or whatnot, they put the sauce on first, okay? When you put the cheese on top of the sauce and then bake it in the oven, it actually gets crispy and burns the cheese. But if you put the cheese on first and then put the sauce on top of it, it actually cooks in and melts underneath the sauce. So we're gonna go ahead and get this put on there and then finish putting this cheese on. And then we'll get it sauced up and we'll go ahead and put some in the oven and start baking it off here. You just want to coat evenly. The sauce is nice and hot. And you know, like any Italian food, it's always better the next day. Just like your venison chili, your sloppy doughs, whatever it is that you're cooking, it's always going to taste better the second day. Once it has time to congeal and cool off and then heat up again, it just brings out those flavors even more so, twofold. So we'll go ahead and get this sauce put on. I got my oven preheated at 375 and we'll bake this for about 45 minutes. And I already know the kids will be asking me, Dad, when's it time to eat? Because they'll be smelling this in about 15 minutes. Alright, well, it's been about 45 minutes in the oven. So the shells are done. Let's pull them out here, take a look. And there's a lot of good protein here, guys. Super heavy, super healthy, super cheesy. And that's what you want. Let's pull the cover off of it here. There you go. Stuffed shells. Go ahead and get a little bit of plate here. I know my son's gonna want to try some of these, so let's go put some in there. It's a little bit hot, but let's go ahead and set that in. There you go, guys. Stuffed shells with regatta cheese, spinach, and venison sausage. Just one more way to make good use of your venison. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.